welcome to SveNFL.
What's up, y'all?
It's Jonathan Rollins.
Schif me, Sora.
We're two Americans living in Sweden, talking about football. Yeah, man, we're back at it, man. It's time. We're back to the regular schedule programming where we drop 2 of these episodes a week because the season is on, man. We've had our Sunday off. Week one is upon us. It's upon us.
It is upon us.
It is upon us. And I'm happy. I walked in happy, came into the studio very happy today because Florida State Seminoles lost their second game of the season. Of two.
It was, I mean,
of 2 games.
If you guys aren't watching college football, I'm sorry, you're missing out. There's some crazy shit going on.
Somebody hit me up asking me how to watch, and I was like, "You guys kind of wild, wild west out here, man." It's hard in Europe.
True. It is kind of hard in Europe. It's a real shame.
I told him what I do. I don't want to really talk about it, but I told him what I do, and he was like, "All right, I'll do that." But
I'm fortunately able to tap into my mother's cable platform, so that helps.
There's ways,
but it's
worth it.
It's really worth it. It's so awesome.
And most NFL starts at 7 p.m. That's the bulk of the games here in Central European time. College games on Saturday, 6 p.m. Even earlier.
There's usually a 12 o'clock window, which starts at 6 here, and then there's like a 3 o'clock window, and then there's later. But yeah, it's a beautiful thing.
We were talking before we got on about how they're changing the college game so much, which is making it more fun for fans of teams that don't have a bunch of money and notoriety, making it more like the NFL and more like what we love about football over here. With basically, we're hoping that it goes more and more towards relegation and stuff. So
yeah,
it could be fun.
And also, it enriches your NFL experience too, because if you are aware of some of these players, before they get to the NFL, like I remember watching Georgia just get absolutely undressed by LSU when they had Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, and Justin Jefferson in the SEC championship game back in 2019, I think it was. I was just like, man, I was just like, that LSU offense was so good. I was like, I cannot wait to see these guys in the NFL. They are so fucking good.
I remember that, and I was thinking, I knew that Burrow was a transfer and wondering if he's fool's gold or not. Maybe it was the talent, but turned out that he's the truth, man.
Yeah, real deal.
Yeah, so he's no Josh Allen. So
how did you feel?
Tell us a lot.
We had our big fantasy football draft extravaganza on Sunday. Yeah. How did you feel? I felt tired as a motherfucker after that.
When we rode home together, I felt so drained. I told Sandra, I got home and just went to sleep. Normally I'm up, I can be a night owl sometimes and especially now with the politics, I'm always trying to see what's going on with that stuff. So I'll just have it on, let the TV put me to sleep, then wake up and then crawl into bed. But I went straight to bed. I was drained, man. Entertaining our fans, our viewers, our listeners, subscribers, whatever.
Yeah, how much we entertain them is debatable. I felt very distracted throughout the whole process because I was trying to do the thing, but also draft. And I was really glad that your boy Ken showed up for the second draft. I felt like he stuck with us for so long that it almost felt like he was like a third co-host.
It helped, right?
Which was kind of nice. Because shit, that second draft got crazy, man. People were doing some weird shit in that draft.
Yeah, man. Thanks to everybody who joined. We got 2 leagues going. Hopefully, we can get up to 3 leagues. We're open we've had two in a row now with a relegation league. And you don't want a third?
No, I feel like we can. I feel like next year we could have a third.
Yeah, people that are interested, just patreon.com/SveNFL and join us, and you can hop into for next year. We'll have a nice third league going. Could be fun. I don't think I would participate in the third one.
Right.
I can't do 3.
Yeah.
It's not like I do much anyway, but
you got Jason doing everything.
We're a 2-man team. So I guess I could do 3. He'll probably want to do it. But yeah. But it's
maybe you draft one so that way you don't wind up with Zeke Elliott on your team.
They try to get him twice. Jeez. I'm not he going home I called him and he kind of like convinced me. I was like, "Oh, maybe it's a good idea." I was like, "What am I doing?" Hung up the phone. What the fuck am I talking about? It's persuasive. But yeah, this episode we're gonna go through and catch up on some news. Some crazy shit has happened, so we'll talk about that, and then we'll have our something we started that's a staple of this podcast now is the division winners. So I'm anxious to see who you think is gonna win every division, and I'm eager to tell you who I think. So take us away with the news, man.
Yeah, let's start with a piece of news that obviously people have been waiting for this news to drop for a long time. The Cowboys have finally offered a contract extension to CeeDee Lamb. Massive 4-year deal worth $136 million. I think that brings him just below Justin Jefferson.
Straight cash, homie.
Okay.
You know, the situation in Dallas is pretty fascinating because, you know, they came into the year, CeeDee Lamb wanting a new contract. He was holding in for a new contract. I don't know why they keep talking about Micah Parsons because he's not even eligible for a new contract until next year.
Oh, he's somebody you lock up though, man.
But yeah, and then of course the big one is Dak Prescott, which is still a lingering question. There is still a chance that, based on what I read, there's still a chance that the Cowboys will offer him a deal before the season starts. But the situation with Dak is pretty fascinating because it's rare that you see a quarterback of his caliber at his age to be in a situation where he's going into a contract year where he has all the leverage, because the Cowboys have been sitting on their hands acting like they're playing chess when really they're out there playing checkers.
They're playing Chinese checkers.
Yeah, they're playing Chinese checkers. It's a good point. Like a game that nobody knows how. It's like, what? You're just moving these little balls? Okay, whatever.
They're playing Operation.
Because Dak has all the leverage. It's a contract year. If he could sign a new deal with the Cowboys if they offer him one, or he could play out the year and 100% be the highest paid free agent quarterback in NFL history, period.
You know what image I never get out of my head, man?
What's that?
The image of contract year Dak Prescott sitting on his rear end on the field, holding his leg,
broken ankle,
with his ankle dangling.
Clear break.
Like
he still got paid.
Right.
Still got paid.
But I'm saying I'll never forget that image and how everybody was like, or the image of I don't remember which player. I want to say Cam Chancellor, Seahawks, like one of the legends of Legion of Boom, later in the Legion of Boom, getting carted off the field, giving the middle finger because he was playing in a contract year,
right?
And he should have taken care of him. So those that's the ugly part of football, the business side where people get screwed. And quarterbacks are very different, though. I would argue that even if Dak Prescott had the exact same injury this season, he would still get paid. He's proven that he can win football games, obviously in the regular season. Not so much in the playoffs, but that's not entirely. It's not him. Yeah. I don't buy into that. I think he's a really good quarterback.
I don't think there's any way that you can look at this where the Cowboys have leverage at all. I think they're kind of fucked if they don't lock him down.
Yeah, they're treating him like he's like a Tannehill.
Yeah, but he's not, because he's still pretty young.
Yeah,
and he's still statistically one of the best quarterbacks.
He's not a middle of the road guy. They treat him like, it's like, come on, man.
They're still trying to treat him like that 4th round pick that they picked him at all those years ago.
That's probably what they're still saying in the negotiating room. He's like, but I put all this shit on tape. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So that's an interesting saga that's not over, but CeeDee Lamb is locked in, so is what it is. Yeah. The other news that we were waiting for that we finally got was the Brandon Ayuk. Brandon Ayuk holdout trade drama is over. Yes. Ayuk and the 49ers agreed to a 4-year, $120 million extension.
I need the money. I need the money. I need the money.
The vibes in San Francisco, despite this deal getting done, continue to be strange.
Might have a coach to put it on.
There have been a lot of leaks.
Soaking wet.
For this whole saga, including once the deal was announced, not long after, it was leaked that this deal that he agreed to and has signed was essentially the deal that San Francisco made to him back in April. So they're trying to make it look like
whether that's the problem.
like he's the problem. So that's a little. I think
strange this seemed like I'm starting to be more and more out on Shanahan. It feels like some Shanahan shit, man. It's Shanahanigans.
Mm-hmm. I'm
gonna start calling these Shanahanigans when this little bullshit is happening.
Shanahannigans, I like that. You know, I like that.
Man, I don't know, man.
You like that? You like that?
And so these Shanahanigans are wild, man. I like firing this dude, and like he's acting like a spoiled rich kid sometimes.
Mm-hmm. I've said this many times, and I said this a lot towards the end of last season on this pod that, you know, there's a lot of room on Fuck Kyle Shanahan Island, and you are all welcome to join me.
I'm not there yet.
I'm waiting.
It's weird.
I got fruity drinks in the blender. There's palm trees.
You got smoothies?
There's going to be smoothies and activities.
You got smoothies? Okay.
Yeah, you know, you want to do like, you know, some aerobics, or you want to learn how to surf, or you know what I mean? You want to do weird things with coconuts. Like there's room on the island.
If I could drink out of a coconut, if I could drink a smoothie out of a coconut, I might be there.
Yeah. No pedophilia on my island though. It's not like an Epstein Island kind of.
It's not pedophile.
In fact, no children allowed. There's no children
on
this island.
No, who needs
kids allowed? No. We getting into some shit that kids don't need to see. It's just
We're turning up. We're turning up on this. On fucking Kyle Shanahan Island. No Shanahanigans. No Shanahanigans over here.
No shit. I'm a huge fan of this new phrase. I'm on board. Shanahanigans.
Yeah, I'm starting to feel like that, man. Because I don't really like. I don't know. But then in that receiver show, he seems likable.
Yeah, that's because he's sitting in front of a camera and he has.
No, I mean on the sidelines. I look at the sidelines more than the. But even his camera on camera interviews or whatever they do, whatever they call those, that he seems likable there. But then on the sidelines, his interaction with the players, he kind of like joshing with them, and it's like I like it. It doesn't seem like a dick.
Bitch, please. As someone who works in film,
nigga, please.
As someone who works in film, I do not trust this medium. You can make anybody look any way you want them to look.
Okay.
I'm out on that.
All right, I'm learning. Okay.
Your guy.
My guy.
Mike McDaniel.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And the Dolphins agreed to a contract extension through 2028.
I didn't know this.
This was announced a few days ago. Obviously, I think he's such a perfect fit. His whole vibe is so perfect for Miami. Yeah, there's a lot of that. You know, he's sober.
He probably doesn't. Yeah, I was just joking.
He's sober, actually. He
just dresses like a drug addict, a drug dealer.
He has a whole long kind of, not highly publicized, but it's not like he wrote a book or anything like Dave Canales and his porn addiction, but yeah.
He almost ruined his career and he turned his shit around. Yeah.
He almost drank himself out of a career football, and he got his shit together. But the vibes are good, certainly better than the vibes were apparently when Brian Flores was there. This whole thing that came out between Tua and Flores, and Tua explaining.
You know what? I'm a big fan of Tua. I'm a big fan of Mike McDaniel, and obviously I'm a huge Dolphins fan since I was a kid. But move on, man. They need to get it. It's been what? It's his third year. It's 3 years since Flores.
I agree with you, but in one way, I find this story a little fascinating on two levels. One, Tua gets a lot of criticism. I think a lot of people think about Tua in the same way that you think about Josh Allen. Some people think he's fool's gold. So I can understand the desire to want to explain some things. Yeah. The other thing that I find fascinating about this story is that we never really got a clear explanation.
We never will.
For all the weird stuff that was going on when Flores was there with this whole thing where they were trying to get Brady to come in and all this other stuff, this behind the scenes kind of stuff. And it kind of makes you wonder if Flores was a little more in on that than we thought he was.
I think he was out on Tua, and he wasn't a believer. He wasn't down to put in the work to build this guy up, and wanted to prove himself right, possibly. But I also think that Jerry Ross was, Steve Ross was doing Ross.
Rick Ross.
Rick Ross was, Steve Ross was doing his best impression of Jerry Jones. That's why I said Jerry Ross.
Right.
And now he's back to fuck off. But I think he was trying to do his Michigan thing. He got in trouble. He even lost a pick for trying to recruit outside of the lines. So I think he was too involved and didn't mind losing to get what he wanted, and that is not going to be Flores' way. And Flores didn't handle this new breed of player like you need to. Well, like coaches like Nick Sirianni and Mike McDaniel and what's his name out in Carolina? Jonathan Gannon. This new breed of coach that it seems like it matches this new breed of player that is not going to be always iron sharpens iron mentality that it was in the fucking Boston College days.
Right.
So
also another example of someone from the Belichick tree, maybe a little too slow to change with the times, so to speak.
And I think he'll get a shot later on. We'll see what happens with that Vikings defense, where he's at, and the league soften up on him. But yeah, if he's not going to be a company guy and you're not going to be a player guy, what the fuck are you? like you don't want to do that. You don't want to do this. It's like it's going to take the perfect fit for him to thrive. So he's going to have to look inside a little bit.
It's kind of like the same conversation we're having about Sirianni up in Philadelphia. It's like you don't call plays, right? You don't pick the players. You're supposed to be there for the vibes.
We need that sound. We need that sound from Office Space. What is it you say you do here?
Yeah, exactly. You're supposed to be there for the vibes, and now we're hearing that your starting quarterback can't even be in the same room with you, and there needs to be a mediator to pass information between the two of you. It's like what should be bigger news is what you told me.
Like, this should be all over everything. They should be talking about the fact that the quarterback called the defensive coordinator to say, what did you figure out about us? Because our coach has no clue. That's insane. How did you know? How did you know? Like, what?
It's crazy.
That's what makes me think the Eagles are going to fall. But that news alone makes me think it can't work. It can't work.
Yeah, we'll see.
I've got controlled fury, and I'm ready to go.
Yes. Probably the most sensational story of the week. We're going to go back to San Francisco, where the 49ers first-round pick Ricky Pearsall was shot in the chest on Saturday.
Yo, I'm sorry to laugh, but you say Ricky shot in the chest. I just think of Boys in the Hood. I'm sorry.
Right.
Ricky!
No!
Running in the straight line.
So Ricky Pearsall was on his way to an autograph signing event in San Francisco. And this gunman apparently attempted to steal his Rolex. 17-year-old kid.
The fuck?
Just saw some dude with a Rolex and pulled a gun. And apparently they wrestled with the gun. and both Pearsall and the kid were shot in the process. It was a through and through the shoulder, out the back. Didn't hit any vital organs. He's already out of the hospital, but he has been placed on the whatever non-football injury list. Anyway, as far as the team is concerned, it's not like they were expecting Ricky Pearsall to feature too much this season, but scary.
Which really sucks for him, man.
Yeah.
You know how it is. Dog eat dog world out there.
It is.
If you miss in time, you'd be forgotten.
Uh-huh.
So that really sucks.
I personally think Ricky Pearsall was drafted in the first round because of this one catch that he made last year for the Florida Gators, but we'll see. I mean,
they could have used him last week.
Yeah, they could have used him last week when they were getting stomped on by the U. Now, I don't know if you would, whatever, a rookie third string receiver gets shot because I don't know, some people could blame this on Kyle Shanahan. You don't have to, but
no, just for
no, but I actually have an answer to how this is Kyle Shanahan's fault.
Oh shit! Should we? Oh, we can do this right now, man. Come on.
This time, last week
I'll set it up. Ricky Pearsall was shot for his Rolex by a 17-year-old robber. How is this Kyle Shanahan's fault?
I'm so glad you asked. I had no idea this was going to come up. Last week I was just talking out of my ass. This week I actually have an answer. It's sort of a two-part answer. One, why is Ricky Pearsall doing autographic events before he's even played a single snap in the NFL? Don't nobody need this man's autograph. He ain't done shit yet. Right?
So true.
Two, you got to coach this kid up a little better than this. You got to tell Ricky, leave the Rolex at home. It's like you said, it's a dog eat dog world out there. The gap between the rich and the poor is wide, my friend. We are on the doorstep of all out class warfare. Rich versus poor. I'm talking about how the streets will run with the blood of those who have acquired far more than they actually need. Lord knows the more fortunate are not ready for this situation. And it is on Kyle Shanahan to prepare his people.
Well done. I didn't know you found a way, man. So you're saying that this falls into the bucket of Shanahanigans?
Yeah, absolutely.
Man. But, he's recovered pretty well. Hopefully he fully recovers, and I'm hoping he could play. You're going to have a Denny Hamlin effect and a Brian Robinson effect. So,
yeah.
Because, it's ridiculous. This shows how much of a gun problem we have in America. That it's like every season a player gets shot. And not Denny Hamlin, but every season, like lately, a player gets shot and then has to recover, and it's a story throughout the season.
Speaking of players who got shot, I watched the Netflix documentary on, what's his name?
Steve McNair.
Steve McNair.
Rough, tough one. I haven't gotten to watch it yet, but I heard there's a twist that makes me want to watch it.
Yeah, I won't spoil it.
Yeah, I'm not buying it, but
I didn't find the twist all that convincing.
Figured they were like, we need 30 more minutes.
They did their best, but I'm not buying it. Okay, in lesser whiteout news, the Kansas City Chiefs, for whatever reason, have decided to reunite with wide receiver Juju Smith-Schuster.
Juju on Abby.
Juju went to the Patriots and said,
"No, thank you.
You're just not gonna want that."
They're just not gonna want that.
Not really sure why the Chiefs wanted him back, other than the fact that he already knows the playbook. It's not like he really did anything the last time.
No.
But I don't know, bodies. You just need bodies, I guess.
Yep.
My man, former Bulldog Nick Chubb, is going to start the 2024 season on the PUP list.
Oh, damn.
Misses at least the first 4 games. No surprise there.
No.
It's just sad. The game is so much more fun with him in it. Yeah. I think TJ Hawkinson, also very fun player, tight end for the Vikings. He'll also be starting on the PUP list.
Damn. The Vikings, man. Jeez.
Vikings are going to be interesting.
Interesting? Is that the word you use?
I still don't understand this. What do they call them? The Darnold hive? These people who still believe that Sam Darnold never got a fair shot.
He got a very fair shot in New York.
And that this is his first real chance to prove.
Where did he play first? The Rams, right?
No. I think he started in New York.
He started in New York, then he went to the Rams, back up.
And then, he went to Carolina.
Oof. Yeah, he's had chances. I remember that.
He got
benched.
And then Carolina brought in Baker Mayfield, and I just don't.
I didn't know they must be college fans.
There's a group of NFL analysts who really believe that he's still an NFL quarterback. Like, I don't know why but we'll see. I don't know. It's certainly. I mean, Sam Darnold playing with it'll certainly probably be the best receiving core he's ever had. So this will be the year that the Darnold hive we need to sort of put up or shut up.
Yeah.
Speaking of quarterback mistakes, the Titans traded quarterback Malik Willis to the Packers for a pack of cigarettes, 7th round pick, I think. This was the guy who was supposed to take over for Ryan Tannehill, but he got him on the field, and that was one of those things where I think people were just trying to figure out cool things to say. Like, I think he was never
gonna be that dude. Good. That's how I feel about Quentin Richardson, man. I'm sorry. I could be wrong. Is it Quentin Richardson? Anthony Richardson. What's wrong with
Anthony Richardson? Jonathan's having a stroke.
My bad, man.
And more.
I don't know.
We have some more questionable signing news. Cowboys have just signed 4-time Pro Bowler running back Dalvin Cook.
Oh shit! It's on.
Dalvin, he joins a running back room with Zeke, Rico Dowdle, and Deuce Vaughn. I mean,
I'm here to double down. That shit is a 2-pack of ass.
So you got Zeke, Rico, Deuce, and Dalvin. This sounds like the dumbest gang.
It sounds like a 90s R&B group. Rico, Zeke, Deuce, and Dalvin are boy runners.
Very strange. So strange.
Oh, man.
Let's see. Russell Wilson was named the quarterback QB1 for the Steelers over Justin Fields. He's going to start week 1 versus the Falcons, but Mike Tomlin is already warning the Falcons to be on the lookout for Justin Fields' package.
Ooh.
That'll be the last time that I address it.
Russell Wilson being named the starting quarterback will provide him with the opportunity to break 2 very unfortunate NFL records. He could be the first quarterback in NFL history to lose to 31 different teams.
Oh, because of he's been playing all over.
He's never lost to the Browns or the Eagles. And he's playing both of those teams this year.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
That's pretty
that should be interesting. What's the other one? Oh, the other record that he has the chance to break this year is to be the quarterback with the most sacks ever taken.
Damn.
The record that's currently held by Tom Brady, who was sacked 565 times, but that was over a 23-year career.
Right.
Apparently, at the rate that he gets sacked,
over 12 years.
He should break the record, but we'll see. So it's not what you want. No. I mean, I think what's going to happen is that he's either going to get injured or it's just not going to work out the way they want it. And the Steelers fans, I think, are, despite the fact that Tomlin, obviously never has a losing season, I think the fans are getting tired of that. I think the fans want to have
a real losing season.
Well, I think they want to be relevant. I think they want to win playoff games. I think they want to go back to the Super Bowl. And this purgatory that they've been in with these 9-8 seasons, I think the fans are growing a little sour on this.
Problem is they're doing it. I mean, it's old school building of the team. And I never see them make like a big splash in free agency. I do like that they picked up Queen. Damn, I can't think today. They picked up Queen. He's like one of my favorite defensive players, but it's like they don't go after stuff to put points on the board. They always get receivers come out of nowhere, so that means they have a good developmental. But when do they go get the big receiver? Never. They give away the big receiver when they get good. So I don't know, man. It feels like they maybe at some point have a year where you go nuts in free agency.
I feel like it could really unravel this year if this doesn't go well because I feel like they're gonna have a good ass defense and it's gonna be nasty, disgusting games. Like, ugh. I mean, unravel in the sense that like when the season's over, even if they are 9-8. They're going to have to stop and ask, like, okay, what the fuck are we doing? Like, we have two average quarterbacks. Neither one is it.
Yeah,
right.
Exactly.
You bring in if you bring in Arthur Smith and it still doesn't really solve your problem, then exactly what's the deal here? You're wasting that good defense, right? Yeah. That's the kind of defense that can win you a Super Bowl if you fix the offense.
Yep.
So. I don't know. We'll see. You and I both, we like Mike Tomlin. I root for Mike Tomlin.
I do too.
There's players on this team that I really like. I don't have issues with Russell Wilson. I don't have a problem with Justin Fields either. So if it works, it works. That's great. But if I'm a Steelers fan, I'm like, ugh.
Yeah.
Like
really? They got to be like, what's his name?
Is this real?
The other quarterback news you got, and this is going to be even more problematic. You have, behind what some are calling the worst offensive line in recent memory, the Patriots have announced Jacoby Brissett as their Week 1 starter, despite the fact that the new head coach admitted that Drake May outplayed Jacoby Brissett. So you're like, everyone's kind of scratching their heads, like, what? I mean,
playoffs? Don't talk about playoffs. You kidding me?
I mean, he's saying it without saying it. I think the only way you can really look at this is from the perspective that they are just trying to make sure that they don't get Drake May killed out there. But at the same time, it's like, what are we doing here? Is this like Operation Get Behind the Black Guy strategy? Like, typical Boston racism.
Yeah, yeah.
Sucks for Jacoby Brissett.
Yeah, it feels like it sucks for not just Jacoby Brissett, but the mid-level player. That's it feels like your team's giving up on you. That's got to suck to try to be playing on a bad team that isn't even putting their best foot forward as an organization. And now I'm out here putting my health on the line when I need to secure a contract.
Right.
That's what sucks, man.
What's your over under on the week where they just have no choice? They have to play Drake May.
Week 4. Week 4. I think I've seen this. It happened to my team.
Yeah.
When we talked earlier about Brian Flores, he did not want to play Tua. And Jacoby Brissett, I remember they were saying Tua couldn't throw, and they were showing him before warm-ups, throwing fucking perfect ball, but he had hit his thumb or something like that. And Flores was like, "No, he's not ready to go." And then the warm-ups, he's throwing the ball, and everybody's like, "He looks ready to go to me." And then Brissett comes out, he gets folded up, and then Tua comes out and wins the game, and against Baltimore Ravens, who had a top defense. It was like, oh, now he's forced to play Tua. And Jacoby Brissett, it was hard to watch this guy. But then last year, remember we were thinking after that, and then he goes to Cleveland. But last year he looked way better somehow.
Yeah,
it's strange.
I just think that we've seen this.
What was
before.
it the year before?
We've seen this before in New England, and really not that long ago when your boy Mac Jones,
Did you see me looking for it?
when Mac Jones, I think he came out because he got injured, and there was that one moment where Bailey Zappi looked good, and then they brought Mac Jones back, and he looked terrible, and you can hear the crowd is just like screaming for Bailey Zappi to come back on the field.
Or your boy, Tommy DeVito.
He's still on the Giants.
I'm just saying, like when he came out, when he came into the game, and it was like, oh shit, and that's not what you need, man. It's not what
fans are idiots. Fans are idiots. They're always going to scream for the backup quarterback when the starter is struggling.
But they're starting the backup. That's what's crazy.
That is crazy.
And it's not fair to the fans. It's not fair to the players that are, marginal or like trying to get a contract. It's not fair at all. If I'm a receiver on that team, and I know I know these passes are gonna skip on the ground before they get to me, I'm not happy about it, man. Why am I running this route? He can't get it to me.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's not gonna be. It's not. Might not be a long time for our boy over there, Mayo.
Yeah, it's interesting. We'll see. It's a new era in New England for sure. Yeah. And then finally,
I hope this era lasts as long as their winning era.
Yeah, exactly. Our final piece of news, I saved the biggest news for the end. The biggest quarterback deal to go down this week. The Atlanta Falcons traded their third string quarterback, Taylor Heineke, to the Los Angeles Chargers.
That's the biggest.
So good luck with that.
Good luck with that. Who's your third string now? You don't need him?
I don't know, actually. Oh, you know what? I think we signed some dude from the Canadian Football League.
Oh, nice.
Maybe.
Willin' and Dylan. Go Fontenot.
We have two quarterbacks. We have Kirk Cousins and we have Michael Penix, so we're fine.
And if you have two, you have three. What is it? How does that saying go?
Two, you have none.
Oh, yeah. That's what it is.
Yeah. So that's pretty much the news. Look, there were a lot of roster cuts this week.
Mm-hmm. Of course.
And there's some available players, and I'm not going to go through all that bullshit. But if you're interested, go look for it. Ryan Tannehill still doesn't have a job.
Oh.
He could be a good backup for somebody, but...
why haven't the Patriots kicked the tires on him instead of Brissett?
I
he
agree.
probably wants more money, though. That's weird.
Maybe.
I'm a little shocked, man.
Yeah.
I'm a little shocked.
That's weird.
Yep. We'll see. We'll see if we get some surprise signings. I mean, we're only a few days away from football. We're recording this on Monday.
Why haven't the Vikings looked at Tannehill? He's better than Sam Bradford.
Sam Darnold.
I'm sorry. That's the Rams I was thinking about. Sam Bradford. Sam Darnold, man.
I forget who I think they might have Hendon. No, is that Hendon Hooker's? I forget who the backup is for the Vikings. I think Hendon Hooker is with the Lions.
I see that Josh Dobbs shit died the fuck down. Everybody's like, oh, yeah, my bad. Let's send this guy back to space, all right?
Everyone got so excited about all that, like him and his off-field narrative.
Yeah, he's a scientist and all that. Nah, let's put a fucking clipboard in it.
His struggles with alopecia. It's like,
it's like no matter what, he needs a clipboard, either here or in a fucking lab. Don't put him under center. Give him a clipboard.
Yeah. I believe it's time.
It's time for 20. Like we get to feel it out.
Yep.
See what you're thinking about division winners, man. It's tough. This year is the toughest, I think.
I've already put a lot of thought into this.
I have too.
And
I feel like I'm wrong already.
I feel like I'm 100% confident.
Really?
I feel like I know exactly how.
You can't be 100% confident in all of these divisions.
100%.
Okay.
I'm locked in.
All right. Well, let's start with the since the NFC did not win the Super Bowl. Let's start with the NFC. Who do you have? Okay. What are you saying?
Go ahead.
I was going to say NFC East. Who you got?
I actually believe that the Philadelphia Eagles are going to win the NFC East. I think the Cowboys are having a very weird offseason. I think all of the off-field stuff is going to get in the way. The running back room gives me the ick. I think the defense is going to take a step back. They lost Deron Bland.
Is Deron Bland gone?
Well, he's foot surgery. He's going to be gone for like 6 to 8 weeks or some shit.
Right in time for the playoffs.
Despite the fact that the Eagles have also had a rather weird offseason about the vibes in the coaching room, I think Jalen Hurts and the rest of the players have a lot to prove, and I just think they have a better roster. So I'm picking the Eagles.
Man, see, I picked the Cowboys. I feel like they won the division last year. They had 12 wins. They're kind of running it back, and Tayshaun Diggs is back, right? And he was hurt. He was hurt, and they still won the division last year. So he gets back. He's back. Bland will be back mid-season for their final push. I don't know, man. I feel like Dak is better. I think Dak's better than Hurts.
I also feel like the only reason the Cowboys won that division is because of the Eagles' late season collapse.
Okay, that's the last thing they did. Is collapse, and they still have the same coach, and they have a quarterback that was calling defensive coordinators. I don't know, bro. It feels like something's broken, and that stuff is the only way to fix that is to go ahead and cut the head off, and they didn't do that.
Fair enough.
I don't know. That's the thing. It's more of that than roster and all of that stuff, because they had the better roster last year, and they still fell apart. So that's a tough one. We're gonna have to box it out over that when we make our bet. What about the NFC North?
NFC North, I've got the Lions. The Lions have turned into one of the, fun teams to watch. They've gotten very good. I believe in Dan Campbell. I love the continuity on the coaching staff. I love that this offensive coordinator could have gone and gotten a head coaching job, but he decided to stay because he feels like they have unfinished business.
That's clutch.
I think they put a lot of work into building a better version of the defense, because that's clearly their biggest problem, the thing that's standing in their way, the reason why they blew that lead to the 49ers in the NFC Championship game. And I just think it's I'm low on the Packers. I'm high on the Lions. Yeah. And I think the Bears are going to ruin some people's Sundays.
Okay.
But yeah, it's Lions.
Who's the best coach in that division?
It's not Matt Eberflus. No, it's. I agree that it's LaFleur. I think LaFleur is the better X's and O's coach.
Who's the best?
I think you could argue. I don't know. The Vikings coach is pretty good too, but he's still.
McConnell.
I would give it to LaFleur. LaFleur has more experience.
Who's the best quarterback in the division?
Oh, it's probably Sam Darnold. Sorry, I tried to say that with a straight face. It didn't work. I don't have the same feelings about Jordan Love that everybody else has.
Do you think it's Goff?
Yeah, I think he has more experience. I think he's a smarter quarterback. I think he's the smartest quarterback. He may not be the most athletic. He may not be the most dynamic, but I think he's the smartest quarterback in that division.
Yeah. I always go with coach-quarterback combos.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the best combined quarterback-coach combo, I think it is the Lions, man. All things considered. What Dan Campbell's done has been remarkable. I was a doubter at first because I thought it was all coach speak. But, I mean, that first season when he axed the fucking defensive backs coach to wake everybody up, they still never got a top defense, but it still pushed the team. So I think he's emerging as maybe not X's and O's, but maybe the best leader out of that coaching group. And he's got that team ready to run through a wall for him.
I like what they did in the draft. I think they started the draft by going back. Their first 2 picks, they went back to back. DB.
Yeah, they know what's up.
They're trying to take care of their biggest problem. And I think that's really smart.
And I think they also have a defensive player of the year prospect in Aiden Hutchinson, who's coming off a great rookie season. So, I could see the Lions winning this as well, man.
I think they picked up another edge rusher in the draft too.
Yeah.
So I
think it might be. They have a capability of being a top NFC team, man. Sky's the limit for them, and I think it begins with winning that division. So I agree with you on that.
There's a lot of pressure though, because it's kind of a win now thing. You can only be the darling of the NFL for so long, and now it's like they've gone from darling to like actual expectations. So a lot more
so
pressure.
What have you done? What have you done? Yeah, it's getting there. Your division, NFC South, what you got?
What do you think I got?
The same as I got, man. That's the worst division in football, and y'all are going to shine in it.
And we're the most improved team in this division. The Bucks are essentially running it back with more or less the same roster. You know, the Saints, well, the Panthers are they're not serious people. I don't even want to have they don't even deserve.
You are not serious people.
I mean, their new head coach has a porn addiction. Their quarterback only weighs 150 pounds.
The owner is a piece of shit.
Owner's a lunatic. The Saints make me a little nervous because they always manage to stay in the mix, mostly because of their defense.
Don't overthink it, bro. Coach quarterback.
But if you look at their receiver core, I think they have a real problem. It's basically Chris Olave and nobody after that.
They
got
Taysom Hill.
You got Derek Carr. They got this whole weird Taysom Hill thing. They did bring in a new offensive coordinator, I think.
Okay.
They brought in somebody from the Shanahan tree, so there's going to be some Shanahanigans going on there.
I just think they should have been fired to Dennis Allen and.
He's on one of the hottest seats for sure. So we'll see. But the Falcons, considering everything that they did, totally new coaching staff, all these great talents ready to be unlocked. Kirk Cousins, proven quarterback. The defense got better despite the fact that everybody's burying us for that. Worst division in football. I don't see any reason why we can't win 10 or 11 games, to be honest.
So, you could win that division with 9 games. So,
right. That's true.
Maybe 8 this year.
And apparently we have the easiest schedule in the NFL. So it's like,
that means nothing.
Let's go.
By the end of the year, it'll be like, man, they had such a tough go at it. Then we got the NFC West, which I think is the hardest one to call. But who you got over there? Actually, the NFC East is the hardest. I honestly think that's the hardest one.
I think so too. I went back and forth on this one. And I know that everyone's going to think that, they're going to, whatever. I think the Rams are going to win this division. I just do. I think that I believe in Sean McVay. I believe in their roster. I'm a little worried about their defense. They're going to have a big number 99 size Aaron Donald hole missing on that defensive line. But they did pick up some good pieces. I think Jared Verse, the edge rusher, they got him. And then they have this other great kid who was He was a rookie last year.
Yeah.
I forget his name, but the tackle who was playing on opposite of Aaron Donald has been playing really well.
Yeah.
And I think, Cooper Kupp, Puka Nacua, that's a problem to deal with for any defense. They also beefed up at running back, so they don't have to lean entirely on Kieran Williams, which I think was really smart. And
they had one of the best coaches in the league.
And they have one of the best coaches in the league. And I personally, everyone's walking around like the 49ers are going to go back to the Super Bowl. Meanwhile, last year, a lot of they were immediately picked by Vegas. The moment they lost, they were the number one favorite to win the Super Bowl next year. I was what? Haven't we been talking about the Eagle when they finally did like a deep dive on what happened to the Eagles last year? Mm-hmm. They interviewed the players and they said, even when we were winning at the beginning of last season, all we were doing was walking around thinking, how the fuck did we get that close to winning the Super Bowl and we blew it? We lost it. Like even the vibes were terrible. So they had a Super Bowl hangover, but it didn't really register or show up until late in the season. The 49ers are going to have the same problem. The vibes are weird. The coach thinks he's a genius. There's rumors now that they signed Ayuk, that they may be trying to shop Debo. I mean, it's because they're not going to be able to keep all the, and they got the Brock Purdy deal coming next year, which is going to blow them out in the cap. So I really do. I think there's a lot of reasons to imagine that the 49ers unravel this year.
Unravel, huh? Are you getting hard over there?
I'm predicting that the 49ers don't make the playoffs. I'm just going to say.
Whoa! All right. I'm picking the Rams as well. I think it's best coach quarterback combo in the division. And yeah, I can see what you're saying too with the Super Bowl hangover. But yeah, I think people are the allure, the aroma of Kyle Shanahan is turning into an odor.
And I think this division is going to be harder to win this year because I think the Seahawks are going to be better, and I think the Cardinals are going to be better too.
Yep, agreed. Yeah, this might be the best division in football. I think they could send 3 to the playoffs. Do we go to AFC now?
Sure.
Let's start with the AFC East.
Okay. The Patriots are not serious people.
No.
I think the Bills are going to drop off. I think they don't know that the window has closed, but I consider their window closed.
Man, tell the media.
I don't believe in their receiving core.
No. I don't know. I feel like I'm glad you're saying this. I feel validated because I was thinking it was just like Bills, like my Dolphins colored lenses, but I'm just feeling like the Bills are going to drop off more than these 49ers.
I agree. I think the Bills are going to drop off. I also have them missing the playoffs. I don't like their receiving core. I love my man, former Bulldog, James Cook. He's great, but he's not a goal line back. And I think, they lost a ton of pieces on defense.
Yeah, unfortunately, to injury too.
Both to free agency and to injuries.
Yeah.
And I think that what's going to happen is what always happens is that Josh Allen is going to put it on his shoulders, and I think he's going to get himself hurt.
Oh, shit.
And I think the Bills are going to fall apart. I believe the Jets are going to be a lot better. Obviously, assuming Aaron Rodgers is healthy. I believe in that team. I believe in their defense.
Yeah.
I believe in the receiving core. And
who's their backup quarterback?
Don't remember. Okay. I don't remember. But ultimately, I have the Dolphins winning the AFC East.
Yeah, I'm glad you said that because I didn't know if I was just being – because nobody else is saying this. Tyrod Taylor's the backup.
Correct. Oof, the unluckiest man in football.
He could help them win, though, man. But he can also help them lose. That's the Tyrod Taylor experience. Yeah, I was thinking the Dolphins, but I was scared to kind of say it, man. I was wondering, am I tripping? But I just feel like, am I the only one that feels like I'm wondering, like nobody else is saying, which it might be better for Miami, but explosive offense, third year in the system is normally when quarterbacks flourish. Tua was a at worst top 10 quarterback last season, had the most yards in the NFL, and Tyreek Hill is still Tyreek Hill, and Jalen Waddle is still Jalen Waddle, and he's healthy now. I don't know, man.
My only concern with the Dolphins is I think that your coach is smart enough to pace themselves in a way that they didn't last year. And my other concern,
injuries decimated the team last year.
That's my other concern, is that like last year when the injuries started to happen, it was like a Jenga tower. It all started to kind of crumble towards the end. And so we'll see. That's a random situation that you don't really have any control over. But at the end of the day, the Dolphins have the better coach. Yeah. They have the better roster. Yeah. And they have a year of massive improvement that I just see them trending upwards. I see them trending upwards. I see the Jets going to trend upwards. I see the Bills and the Patriots going downwards.
Yeah, Patriots might be worst team in the league. Yeah, so I agree with you there on the Dolphins. And obviously I'm a fan, so I'm hoping I'm right. But I just feel like, man, I was wondering if anybody else felt that way. But it doesn't matter if anybody else feels that way. We'll see when the games play. AFC North, one of the toughest divisions always.
Yep. I see the Steelers and the Browns battling it out for last place. I really went back and forth on the Bengals and the Ravens here regarding who was going to win the division. At first I was thinking Ravens, but I'm a little concerned. I still don't like that they have not really addressed the issues with their receiving core. I like that they went out and got Derrick Henry. They've lost some pieces, some really significant pieces on the defense. They also lost their defensive coordinator. They've lost some pieces on the offensive line. At the end of the day, when I started to really look at it and do a deep dive, I see the Ravens not falling apart, but I see them as a slight regression candidate, and I think the Bengals are going to win this division.
Wow. I'll probably never say that.
We should have said it the first year we did that. Yeah, we'd be rich, bitch.
Would have won a lot of money. We're gonna have to box this one out too, man, because I feel like the Ravens are gonna win the division.
This is the only one I'm not confident about. To me, it's a coin flip between the Ravens and the Bengals.
The Bengals always start out slow. I think it could come back and bite them. I think the Ravens are gonna. Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson in a read option.
Yep.
Is a nightmare. It's a nightmare. Yeah. So.
Yeah. It's terrifying.
We'll see, man. They're always well coached. They always do their thing. AFC South. This was harder than I thought.
This one's tough. This is an interesting division. The Titans are irrelevant. Mm-hmm. The Colts are getting better. Anthony Richardson is still a big question mark. But they still managed to almost make the playoffs last year with Gardner Minshew. So it's like, there's a chance that they're going to be very competitive this year. But ultimately, I think this is going to be a 2-horse race between the Jaguars and the Texans. I think the Jaguars are better than people are giving them credit for. But ultimately, I'm picking the Houston Texans to win the division.
I agree. I think the Texans, I think coach-quarterback combo, they're head and shoulders above the rest. D'Amico Ryans quickly turned that team around when they were just – who was that dude, the light-skinned brother? That was their coach when they kept trying to pick bad black coaches. They had Lovie Smith, and then they had this guy, whatever.
Was it Romeo Crennel? Was he there?
I think he was he was there, but I think he was like interim or something when they fired what's his name?
I can't remember.
Running the team. But I forget his name. He was like old, and they just brought him in to say they brought a black coach in. But anyway, I think D'Amico Ryans is really that dude, and C.J. Stroud is really that dude.
D'Amico Ryans is out here making a lot of coaches look bad.
Yeah, man.
I mean, everybody was predicting the Texans were going to win like 4 games last year.
Yeah. I remember how happy he was to get that. Was it like a defensive? Was he from your school? He got that defensive tackle, and then he got Stroud. Like they fleeced. Who they fleece? They fleeced some team to get Carolina, right?
Oh yeah.
No. Bears fleeced Carolina. I forget.
Oh, they got. Didn't they get the DB from Georgia? Did they get Malachi Starks?
I don't remember, but
they might have.
I just
they
know
got somebody from Georgia. Yeah.
He's all. I loved him since he was a defensive coordinator in San Francisco because he is from
the receiving core for the Texans is going to be really fascinating this year because it's going to be a nightmare for anybody trying to pick receivers by way of their fantasy team. But for actual football, I think it's going to be great. They're going to have Nico Collins, Tank Dell, Stephon Diggs. Like don't even like. It's just going to be fascinating to see how they
use them. Let's not forget about Pierre.
And who?
What was his name? The running back, the young dude. Is it Pierre? What's his? I can't think, man.
I know who you're talking about, but I can't think of his name right now. Dameon Pierce.
Pierce.
Well, not only that, they have Dameon Pierce, but they also went out and got Joe Mixon. And I think Joe Mixon is going to surprise some people this year. I think he's going to be good with this team.
Especially splitting snaps. It's going to be good. I don't see much. I don't see many reasons why they won't win this division. I could see them being in the AFC Championship game.
I think Mixon and Pierce could be like the running back Thunder and Lightning this year.
Ooh, yes.
Could be good.
All right, final division, AFC West.
I mean,
yeah.
I mean, it's like
it is what
the Raiders. The Raiders. I don't. I don't really understand what they're doing.
I don't either. Keeping Max Crosby happy. They're gonna pull him in the office and say, "This was you. You did this."
I don't understand what they're doing. There's already rumors that Devontae Adams might try to get himself traded by the deadline. That man wants to win a Super Bowl, and he's very impatient. He's just not going to stick around for that. I do think the Broncos are going to be better. Not really. I'm not really sure what's going to happen with this Bo Nix thing, but I think Sean Payton may have found the perfect quarterback for the kind of offense he wants to run, which will be a very short yardage, dink and dunk, move the ball down the field, and that's precisely what you get with Bo Nix. And they've got not just receivers, but they also have 2 running backs who are very good at catching the ball in the flats and getting a few yards down the field. So I think the Broncos are going to be a more functional team this year. The Chargers are a big question mark for me. I could actually see the Broncos finishing ahead of the Chargers. I don't know about this Harbaugh thing, and
bro,
I'm just not really sure what the hell they're doing either. As much as I love that they drafted my man, former Bulldog Glad McConkey, it's like their number 1 receiver is Joshua Palmer. It's like, what are we doing here? I don't get it.
I don't think they're going to be throwing the ball much.
No, I don't think so either.
Chargers going to be old school football, and I love it. I really think they're gonna shock everybody. They're gonna overperform, and I think the Broncos are gonna. I think this is gonna be a really good division, except for the Rams. I think they're gonna be the top 3 teams are gonna be really good, but the Rams, not Rams. What am I talking about, man?
Chargers.
No, the Raiders.
Oh, the Raiders, yeah.
I think the Raiders are going to be trash, and they're going to be really disappointing. And they're going to fire Antonio Pierce after the season.
I think the fun thing about the Chiefs is that, they won the Super Bowl last year with this receiving core that was not – last year was not the year they were supposed to win the Super Bowl, and they did it anyway.
Right.
And now they have a legitimate dude in Rashee Rice. We know that because he was one of their best receivers last year. He's not going to be suspended to start the season. We already know that. And then they went out and got this fucking lightning bolt, Xavier Worthy. They still have Kelsey.
Pacheco.
I don't think I don't think losing L'Jarius Sneed is going to be that big of a deal. I think the defense will do just fine.
Spagano.
Yeah, I just think it's...
Like the fact that he's there, man, that defensive coordinator.
Spagnolo. You can't say names today. What is up with you? Spagano.
I don't know, man.
Spaghetti. You just say random shit. Tony Soprano over there calling the defense.
Chuck. I think he's a big reason they won last year when they shouldn't have won, because he's been doing his things since back when he was helping the Giants beat the Patriots.
Yeah, and they still have Chris Jones, who was just an absolute game wrecker.
Yeah.
So
yeah, they're gonna be back. They're gonna win the division again. And they got Andy Reid.
That's true.
Mahomes. It's just the best.
And they have Carson Wentz as their backup if something goes wrong, so it's all fine.
Carson Wentz, who had his best year under Andy Reid.
You know what the funniest image...
Was he under Andy Reid, or was Reid gone?
I don't remember.
Was he under Peterson? I don't know.
I think he was under Doug Peterson.
Best time was as a
The funniest image of the preseason this year was the game where Patrick Mahomes threw the behind the back pass to Travis Kelce. And as soon as they showed the replay of what he had done, the first cutaway shot was to Carson Wentz on the sidelines, just like looking like, whoa, what am I doing here? How am I supposed to ever play football when there's people like this?
They say
in the world?
The backup quarterback is the most popular man. Not in Kansas City.
No, sir.
Do not want to see you, motherfucker. But that's it. That's our division one. We're going to battle that out later. Do we go through the wild card and all that stuff now, or you want to wait till...
I'm prepared to do so.
You know what? Let's do it next episode.
Okay.
Because this has been meaty. The news was meaty. And so we'll come back and let y'all know our prediction for the season, and we'll narrow it down, our actual bet. And we're going to do our first flip and pick 'em.
Yeah, baby.
Stay tuned, y'all. Ooh, are you excited, Skip? Because I'm excited.
I'm ready.
Man, thank y'all for checking this out. We'll be back later in the week to kick off our 2 episodes per week. That's when you know the season is here, because you get more SveNFL. It's been Jonathan Rollins.
Skip Misora.
With SveNFL. Peace.
Later, y'all.